Hi guys, thanks for dropping past carbon-free classrooms and showing your interest. Look, I just wanted to shoot a really short video on why pumping CO2 and burning fossil fuels into the atmosphere is actually causing global warming, like what actually makes it warm the planet up, why that happens. So just give you a really quick and brief and simple overview of it. Obviously, we're pumping a ton of CO2 into the atmosphere, whether it's through the exhaust of our billions of cars that are on the road, or whether it's coal power plants like this one. This is Australia's largest coal power plant, and we can see down in the corner here, this is the size of the huge telegraph poles. So just to give you an idea, most of what we see here is actually steam, but the coal itself is being forced into our atmosphere, the burnt off, carbon dioxide, which causes us to the atmosphere to thicken. That's a good way to think of it, is that we're thickening that atmosphere, and the thicker something is, the more it will absorb in terms of heat from the sun. So a little illustration here, we've got our planet, and around our planet we have our atmosphere. Now, as the sun beats down on this atmosphere, so it's pushing its rays into the atmosphere here, they start to get absorbed by the atmosphere itself, and also by forests and things on on the surface of the planet that absorb heat. And some of that heat as well is reflected back out. So not all the heat's retained. Some of it hits the planet and bounces back out into space and ends up, not being consumed by the planet, and actually bouncing into space, and therefore not super warming the planet. Now, as we heat this atmosphere, so as the atmosphere thickens, as the CO2 kind of, permeates throughout the atmosphere, it creates a thicker brand of atmosphere. And that way, when these rays are coming in, more of these rays are being absorbed on the way down, which means that we're basically starting to warm up everything inside of our little atmosphere here, including the land and the sea and the air, everything. So as the sea warms up, the land and the sea are both going to warm up. Things like the polar ice caps, they're going to start to melt. So if they melt away, at the moment, when the sun hits the ice cap, most of that energy is bouncing back into space. It's glancing off the top and bottom of our planet because it's bright white, super reflective, and it's not being absorbed into the ice. If they disappear, well, unfortunately, so does that reflection. So in that case, it makes the warming temperatures faster. More of the sun's rays are being absorbed, therefore more of the planet is warming up. And we end up in a worse situation. So that's just a really quick rundown of how global warming is happening and how the sun is continuing to heat up our planet due to us burning fossil fuels.